2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you listen to us from. It is the Boomba on your BoomradioNG. My name is Ola Dolukpong.
My name is Coincidential DJ Bami.
My name is Shola Rogers.
I wasn't done.
You know, the one and only.
I wasn't actually done.
We have moved on.
I
Everybody's
wasn't done.
We are all done
No,
together.
we're not. No, I'm not.
Are you going to do except all those people that will have like
My name is
10
Ola
minutes of
Dolukpong.
introduction?
Yes, my name is Ola Dolukpong.
Okay.
If you don't want to hear, you can block your ears.
Okay.
No, not AK. Just Ola Dolukpong.
Okay. Yes, blocked.
You don't, I don't need an AK because you would remember.
You said you be AK.
I don't need one. It's just different.
Speaking about AK, I haven't heard from that nigga in a while, man.
No.
Beep, beep. That brother in a while.
Yeah, yeah, right. So, okay, it is a very interesting
Friday.
It's officially, this is a Friday you can call Music Friday.
Yeah.
Alright.
New Music Friday is back. Like last
week was very
a tip of the iceberg. Like, yeah, there are a couple of songs,
but
but
there weren't like a
actually,
lot of songs.
Literally, there were a couple.
Yeah,
but this one, they're
A bunch.
not
a
a bunch.
fountain.
It's I don't even know the English to call it.
Maybe a lot of them were like, definitely now, guy. Maybe we just
Chill for a
let's just chill for a bit, yeah. Because we're definitely going to still talk about that. We're talking about a lot of things. But before we go there, there are a few things that have been happening over because I know this is actually going to take a lot of time. And one interesting thing that I saw yesterday, I don't know if you saw a picture of French president and Russian president, and the extremely long table that was in between them. And the talk was that the French president did not want to take a Russian COVID test.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want his DNA to be stolen by the Russians. And my first question is, what do you want to use your DNA for?
Well, in the world that we live in today, you never can tell. Trust me.
Yes, sir.
You just never can tell. So, and we all know about espionage and all this.
And it's Russia we're talking about here.
Yeah, so Macron is like, no, we Liverpool. No COVID test.
Nope.
I test COVID when I leave France. Russia now. No test. And
it was a very interesting long table.
Knowing Putin gonna be like, okay, no test. I show you the no test table. Bring the no test table.
Where did they get that table for? I was reading it. There's about 15 feet or something. I'm like,
it's the kind of table where you need an intercom, especially when it's dinner service and it's. Hey, can you pass the salt?
Oh my God, these people are actually very interesting.
But guys, it's not a funny situation at all.
Oh no, a lot of things. Russia looks to be.
I have only one word: de-escalate.
Yeah, even as of this morning, the reports had come out that the United States president has actually put out a statement asking U.S. citizens to leave Ukraine as fast as possible because the amount of troops that Russia says that is at the border, the Russian troops that are at the border in Ukraine, that anything can happen at any time.
It can, but I pray it doesn't.
It doesn't. Also, the UK Prime Minister come out to say that Poland is another country that is speculating that Poland is another country that the president of that Russia is about to also invade.
Well, they might have their intel and all of that.
Okay, I know there's something wrong somewhere.
Yeah, what is it?
Nothing. I cannot see properly. That's why.
Oh, your glasses.
Go ahead.
they might have their intel on what's going on in Russia. I mean, in Poland, and of course, everybody knows what's happening in Ukraine. What I just want to plead at this time is, please, we don't need this level of war.
Insanity.
We don't need it, because it's not going to go down well.
There's already too many
especially
issues.
With the level of armament that all these countries have now. These guys are like up there. Oh yeah, so, but we don't need that, you know. So please, maybe they should fly to the moon or Mars, since they all have the capacity to do it, and go and test their weapons there. Because a lot of us don't even we don't even know what's going to happen if this thing happens.
If they go to that extreme to test their weapons, that means the unknown will be much affected.
Exactly.
And let the unknown be affected now. As long as we're all safe here.
You can't be safe.
We will be.
After I get his point. Like after a while, it's
hovering around.
What's happening at the moment that is the effects of what has happened over the years that we're seeing when it comes to global warming and all those things. Yeah, so
ozone layer is this, ozone layer is that.
When you start to take these kind of things, you know, literally, then you don't get the point I'm trying to make. Don't fight at all. That's my point. Don't fight.
I got you.
You know, don't fight, because if you do,
it will affect me.
We're all going to suffer it. If as far removed we are from Ukraine, we're not insulated from the global market. We're not insulated from the effects of
technically some viruses will now bring
no-fly zones, you know, and refugees and all of that. It's just going to get messy.
It's going to get really to get messy.
We all know how powerful Russia is. We know how powerful the US is. So we don't want war.
We don't want it. We definitely don't want it. So moving on to something else. I know that everybody's itching to talk about music today, but another very important issue that a lot of people are talking about is this issue that has happened in Nigeria a lot. Still happening in Nigeria, and looks like it has moved to India. In fact, they're in court in India, and it is the issue of girls wearing hijabs to school. We know that, for example, in Kwara State, it has been a thing that even just last week, I think a school had to be shut because of violence, that some particular schools are saying that you have to abide by the school uniform and not wear anything else. Now, the issue, if you juxtapose that to what happened in India, India as a country is very into Hinduism. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And the issue, what really started this was when nobody was talking about girls that could wear hijabs, if they could wear hijabs or not. And then some other girls that are actually Hinduists, this is something that they call saffron, that they wear as Hinduists, decided that since the people wearing hijabs Muslims can wear hijabs, they too should be able to wear saffrons to school. And of course, it started getting messy, and then India officially banned everybody from wearing anything that is except the school uniforms. Yeah, and now there's a lot of protests. In fact, Muslim girls there's basically like a class action that has been taken to a state court, talking about how they're being discriminated against and all that. And my question always remains, why do we have to put religion into things? Take a school in Nigeria or in Kwara State, for example. It's a Baptist school. They have a uniform. And they're saying you're either going to wear the school uniform or nothing. Mm-hmm. Why can't you abide by it? Okay, if you want your child to wear an hijab, what happened to taking the child to a Muslim school?
Okay, on that kind of situation, I still give props to former Governor Fashola, because something of such nature was about to erupt in Lagos, and he actually came in and stepped in that shoe, not being biased. He is a Muslim, the wife is a Christian. Mm-hmm. And he made it known that even in his house, he doesn't choose the religion the children should practice. And this is a school, not a religion. So if you are trying to now meddle religion and academics, it's going to be messy, and that's why I think he made a law or something that boys should wear cap, girls should wear beret. I think that was
something like that.
I think it was something like that.
Which was the old way anyway.
That was it. Yeah.
So, because he doesn't see the situation whereby you want to showcase your religion in school. And I think painfully, this whole back and forth of wearing hijab, not wearing hijab, Christian school versus Muslim school now has now brought more decadence in the society where government ended up scrapping religious studies into school and moral studies. So now leads us to the state in which we are, where every young boy wants to be a billionaire.
No, I don't. If that is it, I'm not sure. Everybody should learn their religion at home.
I get your point, and it's a strong one, and it's very valid. And we had this discussion a few days ago, and I'm just going to repeat what I said because it's not necessarily that the people who listened or watched the other day listen and watch now. We should separate education from politics and religion. Let politics stay where it should be. Let education be where it should be, and let religion be where it should be. A few months ago, Showore of Sahara Reporters appeared in court with his spiritual leader. The man was dressed in the garb of what we know as a traditional herbalist or DBR or you guys get what I'm saying. A traditionalist who was dressed, with charms and stuff. A lot of people said it was wrong, but no. If he says that's his tradition, that's his religion, then that's his religion. So picture the child of a DBR or a herbalist attending these schools.
This happened. This actually happened. I'm not going to lie to you.
In Osun State.
I saw it when I was serving. It actually happened live and direct in Osun State. That was what literally made just scrap it. Nobody is wearing nothing to school.
Yeah. So you get just picture that, and that's one school, and it now happens across the nation. So the child of someone who worships
Shango will come.
See
goddess.
You tell is Shango. I think they're the ones that plait their hair, yeah. And then you now tell that boy
and ask cowries behind it.
You say that he shouldn't do that.
Oshun will do his own like a fountain.
Do you understand? And then you come to school and you say no, that he shouldn't do that. But then he also allows another girl to wear hijab
for the sake of learning.
But I think
parents are the ones to blame. They are the ones bringing their own sentiments into this.
But
they're the ones. So I would like to crave their indulgence and beg them and say, please worship your God, but can you allow your child learn without the influence of your God being a distraction? Worship your God. Worship your Torah, your whatever beads, anything that you want to do it. But let education stay in the realm of education.
Let me break you there. I think this problem we are facing presently, migrating to the so-called Western metropolitan countries. Now, in Nigeria, I think the emergence of government taking over missionary schools in those days
actually
worsened and played the greatest damage.
Disservice. I agree.
Because back in those days, there was structure and there were rules. Without mentioning names, I can confidently and categorically say bulk of our so-called present leaders were all product of a Catholic or an Anglican or a Methodist school.
Or Ansarudin.
No, but most often, even Ansarudin was available in those days. Most often,
many Muslim fathers in those days prefer to take their children to St. Gregory's College, St. Finbar's College, CMS Grammar School, and so on.
I get that.
And they follow the rules and regulations of those schools.
Exactly, that's
but
my point.
Most of them, at the end of the day, they did baptism for them.
Yeah.
In those schools.
But some of them did not. I have friends also
and they did not die.
Who attended this school.
Because your father knew the caliber of
the level of
the quality
education.
of
It was about
that
the
was
education.
going on in missionary schools back then,
growing
and
up
the
in
level
Surrey.
of extracurricular activities. Because I can say it with all confidence, it was during my era when I was in secondary school and Saudis started involving themselves in sports activities.
Well, I think they've been very good at sports for a long time.
And the first store and
Which
the first
Asarudin are you talking about? Isolo?
Sulere.
The
And the first sport they fell in love with was cricket.
I think it did beyond that, but there's no need because they have this massive football field and all of that. And I know
those competitions in those days was internal. It's like an Ansarudin Cup.
It wasn't.
It is not like Ansarudin versus King's College.
No, but they were in the Principal Cup.
They were not in the old Principal Cup.
Oh, they were. They were.
For me, generally,
Nawar
I think
Islam
that
and Ansarudin were schools that I knew. I know the Ansarudin in Solo, Ansarudin in Sulere, and of course Nawar Islam, and there's another school in Ijora. You know, but what I also experienced growing up was that as far back as in primary school, during assembly, we would pray Monday to Friday as Christians. Mm-hmm. But on Friday, Monday to Thursday, but on Friday, we had the Muslim prayer. When I got to secondary school, it continued. I can pray the Fatiha.
But that's because of the school that you went to.
All the schools in Lagos were doing it.
No.
All the schools in Lagos were doing
We
it.
never did it in St. Gregory's College.
What year was that? Because
that
was after the schools had been taken over.
Been taken over.
The schools were
I was in Greg's when it was taken over by government.
okay.
I was not in Greg's during when the Catholic regime.
All the schools were taken over, and
I think it's funny enough.
And
I got to school like 2 years after government took over.
Okay.
Schools.
All the schools were taken over by the military, and they stopped religion more or less.
Yeah.
You get?
Yes.
Eventually, they removed religious studies,
Yeah.
but it was a slow process. If all the schools did not pray the Fatiha, almost all the schools in Lagos prayed the Fatiha on Friday.
Okay. Yeah.
We had Muslim prayers. It was standard.
That was the
And
public school.
Yes. We also know that our teachers will even leave for the Friday prayers.
Yeah.
And come back to school.
You know the funny thing
So,
was that
And that is how. Didn't you realize that is how we got to this point of schools close on Friday by 1?
Yeah. So, but there was no
not a problem because everybody accommodated everybody.
There was no problem. We all liked it.
For example, yes, I went to private schools, but my primary school was Sacred Heart, which was very, very. There was Sacred Heart like all over Ibadan, different places in Ibadan. So it was a Catholic school. I had classmates that were Muslims. Of course, we went to mass. We did all those things. And as a Muslim, once you are in that school, you are compelled to do those things.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It did not stop.
Did you stop you from being a Christian?
It didn't stop
Or did you
anybody.
stop a Christian?
I wasn't Catholic, and my parents were not Catholic in any way. I'm not Catholic. It didn't change. To be honest with you, the Catholic doctrine.
I'm an Anglican. I went to a Catholic school.
That's what I'm saying. Like the
and
doctrine.
That is why I still have my rosary.
That's the doctrine of the Catholic is very different from a lot of other denominations. Yeah, but it didn't change the fact that my parents felt it was a good school, and yeah, I went to a secondary school that it was a private school, but there was a lot of Anglican. It was very Anglican influenced. Yeah, I remember very well. I had classmates. I had seniors and juniors that were Muslims. I remember there was even a particular family that their father was an imam in the UK. But it wasn't about religion. If you see them outside school, they are always in their hijabs. weekend, what's it called? Summer breaks that everybody, maybe you travel to go for summer in the UK or go to summer in the US. They go for summer in Mecca. Like, they are that much of Muslims. But they get to school, it's a different ball game entirely.
So that's why I'm saying that parents are the problem.
Yeah.
And parents should kindly remove their religion from the schools that their children attend. Look, we get it how missionary schools were taken over and they were giving back to the missionaries at some point, and they're trying to restructure them and bring them back to the old glory that they had, which also included the curriculum and other things. But the world has evolved and it has changed. There are atheists now who are on the increase, and they don't even raise their children along any religious lines. We get that. So the best solution is
remove
religion completely from schools. Now, for the academic aspect of religion, if there's Christian religious studies, then there's Islamic religious studies. And if there's any student anywhere that actually comes out to say, I want to study the Oduifa, they must provide it.
Yeah.
Or else remove religion completely from education.
For me, if we're talking about government schools, then those things should be like all-rounder. But the minute it is not a government school, it's a private school. The same way, if it's a Muslim private school, you as a Christian, you take your child to that school, maybe because you know the level of education that you get.
Yeah.
And then you now complain that, and maybe part of their uniform in a Muslim school, private school, and hijab is probably going to be part of their own uniform. You now say that because you're a Christian, you don't.
Why do you take your child there?
That's my point.
There's a school that I've seen, a private school that is actually set up as an Islamic school, and it's a private school, and I see the way the kids dress, and it actually looks cute. You get, and you see them. There's no issues. You find that people are paying top dollar or top naira to have their children go to this school.
Yeah.
But
it's your choice. That's it for me.
Now, one of the schools that was causing that was involved in all sorts of issues in Kwara State belongs to the K&F's denomination.
And those ones says they don't want hijabs
but
in their
funny
school.
enough, do you realize that K&S school is one of the oldest and strongest school?
Yeah.
My brother went to that school.
Yeah.
So when they say that they don't want
and they're saying
hijab in their school,
then they don't want it.
Then remove your child.
The funniest thing is, when my brother was in that school, they never even mandated you to wear sultana or anything.
They don't do it.
They had a school uniform.
It's a uniform and that's it.
And I think
and their school uniform was basically white.
That's where we should leave it.
That's it.
I think stylishly, I'm not looking back. Looking at most of all the missionary schools in those days, I think they purposely just made their school uniform white to avoid
neutrality and all of that. Yeah.
Because I looked at it now. If you look at St. Finbar's, it's white and
King's College was white.
King's College was white. St. Gregory's is
Greg's
white.
was white.
CMS Grammar School is white. Methodist Boys High School is white.
Yeah.
Like let's just for me.
The only school that I knew that was alternating white and khaki was Igbobi College.
Like let's just
remove. College is khaki. Don't worry. with their shorts, their khaki shorts.
Yeah, it's very very funny.
And
but
they have their
mine
name,
is,
khaki boys.
You don't like what anybody is doing in your school. Remove your child. That's it. We shouldn't make. And before we, oh gosh, why is time flying so much? But anyway, before we actually like really dive into music, I saw something else today. I don't know if anybody else had seen that story about the Oluwo of Iwo.
Back in the...
It's in the news.
Again?
Oh, yes, it's in the news again. And this time, there seemed to be a letter that leaked that he wrote to the governor of Osun State, asking the governor of Osun State for 20 million. Yes, Governor Oyetola, for 20 million naira as he's about to marry a Kano princess or something.
Fantastic.
And of course, a lot of people were going on about what's the governor's business with whoever you want to marry. He has not come out to say that the letter never originated from him, that is his enemies and his detractors and all that.
So I have a couple of questions. Is he marrying a Kano princess?
Looks like it.
So, but the letter did not originate from him, which is a possibility.
Yeah, possibility.
And if it's true that the letter did not originate from him, then my other questions might not be valid anymore. Because I wanted to ask, is this how governors give them money when they want to marry first?
No, first and foremost,
third
what
and
is
fourth
the
wife?
effect of the marriage to the state?
To the state economy.
I was going to get to that, but I just wanted to establish that if this is a practice,
People are mean.
you know, because
No, it's just being
You
real.
people are mean. You people are mean. You people are mean.
you know, but
Because if you want me to, because that looks like more like an investment.
yeah.
So I'm going to invest 20
$20
million.
billion.
There. So what is the state getting
I
in
saw
return?
the letter though. Anyway.
So the state is getting our Oba get fined. Why?
No, he has said that the letter did not come from him.
Accepted.
It's marketable now, you know. It's marketable. It's a fine boy now. Just like if you marry the king of where is he again?
Iwo.
And the princess.
It
from
said the
Kano.
princess from the Bayero dynasty or
Oh,
something.
wow!
So
Oh wow! You see, so what it means is that you see the trade between
Kano
and will
expand.
should I read out this letter?
Don't. We don't have. Don't.
Unfortunately,
Don't.
good for him. I don't have glasses here.
Don't. I would have disturbed you so much that you won't be able.
I have the instructions.
We don't want to read this letter. Look, why are we going to even dwell on this? I think.
Our time on it.
Yeah, we don't have time for
You
this.
know the funny thing. This,
We don't.
Let me.
Why do you want to read a letter that he has
Wait,
denied?
let me.
Just read the interesting
No,
caption.
not even the caption now. The letter is dated 8th of February 2022, yeah?
The man has denied
And
the
there's
letter.
a stamp of, when you receive a letter, yeah? Office of the Special Advisor, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, received.
He's saying, look, he's a smart person. Even if it was from him, he has denied the.
it. So that's
letter.
So, where is
whoever,
the stamp?
it's a setup now. His enemies, his distractors
Anybody
now.
can cook up a stamp.
You know,
This letter look fake to you.
you're just whipping a dead horse.
And has
The
his,
smartest thing that anybody can do in this scenario is to say, I know nothing about this.
with his letterhead.
Oh, you think people can't get letterheads?
Okay.
You don't have a watertight case if this goes to court. So, but what we're just going to say is, if it's true that the king of Iwo wants to get 20 million from the governor of Osun for his marriage to his new bride, his Kano princess, we say there are 20 million reasons why he shouldn't get that money.
Shouldn't get that money. Okay, talking about our court, the Supreme Court of Nigeria has held that the Executive Order 10 that was signed by President Muhammadu Buhari is officially unlawful and unconstitutional. Now, this Executive Order 10 involves the funding of state judiciary and legislature.
Yeah. The Supreme Court is the highest decision-making organ of the Nigerian judiciary.
Sure.
If they've made that pronouncement, then the president has to accept it.
So, but my question is this not the same thing that the Johnson went on strike for months because they wanted it? But now, well, does that mean that whatever thing that states, governors, and the federal government have done to appease them to come back, it's all down the drain?
Yes. So what it means is that we're back to square one. But the truth is, a couple of states kicked against that executive order. The states did not want to pay what the federal government had agreed. You get, and again, it's also down to the discussion we had the other day about taking labor off the executive list, so that the states can actually do their thing. Yeah. So whatever it's going to be, whatever happens at the end of the day, the judicial staff workers of Nigerian courts, they're definitely going to go back.
But now Supreme Court has spoken, so there's really nothing they can do about it anymore.
But they can also down tools and say until they get their demands, you know.
But now this is not even in the hands of the federal government.
They are not protesting against the federal government. Someone took the case to the Supreme Court. An executive order is usually not questioned. Most times, you know, when people issue an executive order, even if it's Donald Trump issued a couple of very funny executive orders that were reversed by the court in America, remember, you know. So when the highest decision-making organ of the land says this is ultra-vires, this is against the law of the land, then it is illegal. There's nothing that the president can do.
According to the court, they're saying that according to 1999 Constitution as amended, that there's until the Constitution is changed.
That's the only way forward.
It cannot.
And so, if they approach the House of Assembly and ask for this to be
included
to be tweaked, and it doesn't work, I see them hitting the streets again. I see them maybe not protesting, but I see them downing tools. And you remember that the legal system was paralyzed for months.
So at the moment now, what we're saying is that it looks like it's in the hands of the House of Assembly.
Yeah, they're the only ones that can change this.
And also, the Supreme Court today has also put out a judgment that against the state governors. This was a 66 billion naira judgment. This was where the 36 governors took the federal government to court to pay them 66 billion naira, being amount they claimed so far was spent on capital projects for the 3 courts in their respective states.
So they spend the money, they have to bear the cost.
It looks like federal government ain't paying nobody no money.
And the Supreme Court has spoken again.
The Supreme Court has spoken about it. So there's a lot of things that the robbery that happened in Ibadan yesterday. Yeah, there's a lot that has come out. A clearer picture of what happened. A clearer picture of the people that had died. Sadly, one of the people that died, I was just reading it this afternoon that he was actually in the car. The person I told you that I know, he was in the car. He was coming from Ikire with his 2-year-old son.
Sad.
Where the stray bullet hit him and died. Luckily, the boy is alive and well. As at yesterday evening, he had been buried.
Yeah, as a Muslim, yeah,
it's a
according
very
to Islamic rights.
Yeah.
And all.
It's a very sad situation. Yeah.
When you take a look at how security in Ibadan has deteriorated, we worked in Ibadan. You lived in Ibadan for years. I worked there for a couple of years, which means that I lived there, and Ibadan was so safe. It was serene. We could go out at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I would go to work at 3, 4 a.m. and go back home again. You understand? But now, in broad daylight.
Try such.
Broad daylight. You know, so whatever it takes, the current governor of the state has his work cut out for him.
Definitely.
You know, alongside the Nigerian police force, and even if they have to go back for some military intervention at this point, I don't care. All I care about is that they protect life safety and property first, like they promised to, like they swore to when they took this job. So, Mr. Governor Sheyi Makinde, you have a lot of work to do. You know, especially now that this is becoming rampant and people are now comparing you to your predecessor. And they're saying that for 8 years, under Ajimobi was fantastic, security-wise. So, whatever it is that Ajimobi did,
maybe we should need to go back to the
drawing board. You might want to revisit that template and protect. Like, we have family in Ibadan. We have people that we love there. We have friends there too. So, we just don't want this.
Okay, and on that note, let's move on quickly. Move all the way and move to music. As we had said earlier today, there's a lot of music.
It's New Music Friday.
It's like New Music Friday. There was a lot of music that came out this week, and we're definitely here to dissect a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
So of course, as is our practice on Fridays, we are very heavy on entertainment, especially new music. And like we said earlier, last week, of course, a couple of songs came out, And I know Dekunle Gold's album was like the main thing that a lot of people were talking about. But there were a couple of other songs
that came out.
Dropped
and speaking about Adekunle Gold's album.
Like for instance, last week, there's a guy called Maxi. Yeah. And that song is becoming like a national anthem. If he continues like this, I think the guy's going to be really big.
People are beginning to know that song.
The National Cake. You know, and the part that people like is where I think he got his friends together to say break up now, National Cake or something. If it don't happen to my friend, I wait for my turn or something. And I'm like, these boys are stupid, but like I like the song. You get
it's actually not bad.
So Maxi dropped officially last week, and he's doing well. I even saw YC or someone quote lyrics from the song.
It's not doing bad. And you know that's very interesting about music. At times, you never know which song is going to blow up. You never ever know which song is.
And this is not his first song.
And another song that has blown up all over is becoming now a TikTok sensation. Is Goya Menos Ameno Amapiano.
That one is clear.
That one.
That one is
as
clear.
of now, it says that song has about 9.5 billion views on TikTok.
You see, that song is clear. We shouldn't even waste time talking about that song. That song is in. It's like when they are leagues. That song is in like the Division A plus.
No, Premiership.
The Oga of Premiership is
Champions League.
It's just up there,
It's Champions League kind of thing.
That song is category CK Love Wanted thing.
Yeah.
Essence kind of category.
It's a beautiful.
That song is chilling with the big boys already.
It's chilling with the big boys, exactly. That's
song for the big boys.
It's chilling with the big boys.
Shaquille O'Neal made a video with that song. Like
I saw that
what
video.
Are you talking about?
Okay.
And it's just one of the major celebs that's done that. So leave that one. So let's go back to New Music Nigeria. Today.
And there was something before you get there. There was something that you mentioned.
Yeah.
About Adekule's album that came out last week.
Yes.
And you will think in less than a week, you'll think like songs on that album should still be big. People should be, because I think that it was very much anticipated. There was a lot of PR, there was a lot of hype around that song. Yeah. And then here we are. I'm not even sure anybody's talking about the album anymore.
DJ Bami is a DJ and
so he should give us.
He knows a lot about music too. So Bami.
I think the issue is, yes, fantastic album, no doubt about it. Heavy songs, but if you look at Nigerian context, he didn't put much of commercial ingredients into it. So it was I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Adekunle is deliberately trying to push himself out of the Nigerian market outside.
Okay, he wants to do what Wizkid does. Everybody does what Wizkid does.
I totally disagree with Bami.
Wizkid though, and you're not allowed with it.
I disagree with Bami. It's an album. It's not an EP. So he had been pushing out singles. Now collectively, the album has commercial music. If you look at the song,
it just as high,
which is highly commercial. So you cannot say he didn't push out commercial stuff. It is what it is, and all of that. So,
but Nigerian, putting into consideration the wave that is on now, the ZZ wave. I don't want to say it in the
Zazu.
So
you can say it.
That's kind of context.
That wave is not on. Sadly, you don't get it.
I don't think so.
That wave is not on.
I don't think so.
You see, I remember at the Boom Bar here, maybe like 2 years ago, when we had Mr. Real and that type of music. Then there was Naira Marley and there was Zlatan and all of that. I remember one of my very close friends, one of my closest friends, would complain. I said, no. I said, relax. It's their time. It will pass.
It will fade out.
It has.
It has faded out.
Now, those same guys, go check them out. They're all trying to sing. They're all trying to do something different. So that wave you're talking about is not there. But you see, street music will always be street music and it will always sell. But it's not going to be about one wave taking over another wave now. At the moment, maybe it will change. So I don't think that should be a thing, right? You know? Okay. I don't think that should be a thing. And so having said that, we will take this and run with it. That Dekunle just wanted to be different. You know, let me check it out. Let me check it out. Dekunle just wanted to be different, and he has done it. And you don't know if it's going to grow.
Okay, for someone like me, I think that the Adekunle Gold's album, for me, the issue I had with it was that it's not the same beats, but it just had the same vibe all throughout.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
It's just a mellow vibe.
I think that even the song High, yeah, is a song that grew on people. It was not an
everybody thing.
It wasn't, you know, there's some songs that you listen to, from the minute you listen to it, you're like, this song is badass. I think High actually grew on people. But then, everything was just so mellow. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but you're not Wizkid. Neither are you Olamide.
You just want to
like,
be like,
let everybody let's
chill music.
Yeah, you're
chill.
Good, you're good. I think know your lane. Day your day.
I think it's had bit rude to keep saying you're not Wizkid, you're not.
But it's not.
It's not trying to be Wizkid. He has never tried to be.
No, I'm not
Wizkid.
saying it's trying to be. I get,
but
you're
using them as a benchmark.
No. What I mean is that those people at a point changed their kind of music, like literally switched it up.
And what happened?
And it worked.
And it can't work for someone else.
I'm not saying it can't work. I think it was too much of the same kind of sound in one album.
Well, what I always say again, and we see this happen in music all the time. What I always say again is that at times we should chill and watch things grow or not. Yeah.
Yeah, it might grow on us.
When Wizzy switched the sound and
there was a little bit complaint
when he did that Daddy Yo.
Oh God, no! That song is still horrible.
I come out here to say both.
Shout out to Wizkid, but that song till tomorrow I still think is horrible.
I hated that song. I'm like, this is not the Wizzy I know.
I still hate it.
You get. So trust me, even the radio station that we were working at then, I more or less put down a band like we don't want to hear this song. You get. But at some point, when people started asking, one or two people asked, and one of the DJs came to me one day and said that they said we can't play this song. I said go and play it. You get. Go and play it. If you want to play it. Do you get what I'm saying? And I look back and I said to myself, it was because I was expecting this from Wizkid, and that you sounded like this to me. My opinion. I might be wrong. Eventually, that song grew. Yeah? But it's still not one. If you're going to count Wizzy's top 20 songs, it won't be there.
It's not.
You understand? But that was Wizzy switching it up. He also went through some backlash, and he got to where he was going. Mm-hmm. So feedback is good for Dekunle. If people feel that this album is not the bomb, it doesn't mean that the album bombed. It just means that they're not feeling the entire content of the album. I have listened to almost all the songs, if not all the songs. And maybe because I have this very diverse taste in music, I like Adekunle's album. One or two songs sounded too similar, but there are other things where he's done that I'm like, oh man, I like it. And especially the features and all of that.
He's trying to bring in a piano feel,
but
gently.
Yeah.
He wasn't making it too obvious, but if you're a good music person and you dissect it, you see that this guy is trying.
Yeah, I get it. For me, it was just.
So for me,
I think it was just the same. It was too much of the same sound.
Your opinion, your opinion is valid. My opinion is valid. Bami's opinion is valid. So my opinion is, I'll ask anybody out there, go and listen with a open mind and let us know what you think. You know, but I'm not going to say that album is whack. I'm just going to say that it's a different sound and I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good album.
I'm talking about albums. One album that came out, that has been out now for I think about less than 24 hours, is Basket Mouth.
Oh, 24. Okay, it's almost 4 o'clock. So it came out at midnight actually.
Yeah. So yeah, it's almost 24 hours.
No, I'm just saying that you are exaggerating. Oh, remember when I leave allowance? And
Anyway,
I just paid you back in your own coin.
Anyway, so Basketball has an album. Of course, we know Basketball does not sing, so it has a few songs. And I don't know if you have all listened to the songs. I've not listened to everything. I've listened to a few. Take for example, Basketball on One Day Cool. Have you all listened to that song?
I have not listened to it, but I've seen the hype around the song.
The one with One Day Cool.
Yeah,
I've listened. I love that song. I like the feel. I like the beat. It's different.
It's very different. It's very different from even One Day Cool.
I like the way One Day was also.
I'm not.
You know the way One Day used to introduce himself. Then it brought it into.
I think I'm not there yet with this song.
Then the title of the song is "Listen," and he's actually singing it in Yoruba. Tetio, Moniko Teti. So I like that particular song.
For this song and for One Day Cool, I'm not there yet on the song. That's it for me. Maybe it just sounds different.
Songs. Let's talk about
Basket Mouth. There's a Basket Mouth Johnny Drill, Simi featuring M.I. Abaga.
Beautiful song.
Fantastic song.
I've listened to that.
I'm just happy for him that he tried to bring so many heavyweights on this.
And he pulled it off.
Oh no, it's
compared to his
fantastic.
first album.
Yeah, that one did not really.
But I think his first album, he was not really serious about it. It was more of a comedy album.
Yeah, because it was the album that came with his web series. So it was. I get what you're saying.
But it's got some nice songs on that album too.
Yeah, this had a lot of.
I know. He has some.
But this one
was properly.
This is like
purposely purposed album.
Yeah, it was.
So that they don't say I'm too playful.
Yeah, Basket Mouth came with. There's also the one with Caveman, Falls, Flavor, Magneto, Illbliss, and Dremos. All on one song. Assembly of the Gods. I think that.
It's indeed the Assembly of the Gods.
It's a different vibe, and I think what made that song for me, not the rappers, not anything, Cavemen.
Yeah, Cavemen now they're back. They're bringing back
High Life.
They're bringing back the High Life feel, and they're putting their own spin on High Life. Now the beauty of this song is
not that they are putting; they've put it.
Thank you. I take your word for it. They've put it. So the beauty of it is that they've now done. Okay, we're getting a call from Shola Adeogun.
Surely.
I think we need to plug. I need to get the device.
Hello?
I need to get the device. All right, Shola, I see you're watching. We'll connect the device in a few seconds. If it cuts off, call back.
So basically, I think that is also Cavemen, like you had said earlier. Cavemen has done some amazing work on that song. I think for me, Cavemen did it. Also, there is a song with Peruzzi, Selowi. I think we've not heard a lot from Peruzzi in a while, so it might have. So it's really nice, but for me, okay, I need to connect it.
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right, it's still the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG, DJ Bami, Oladolu, and Shola Rogers. Is it still there? All right, Shola, what's up?
I'm good. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Well, you know what we say now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. so
Good night.
Yeah, and good night too. All right, Shola, what's up, man?
First and foremost, I want to beg you people to please respect that Basket Mouth's first album, please.
Aha!
That album is a gem.
Aha!
Really?
Yabashi.
I never said the album is a bad album. I just said it was just more of a playful album. Like I never said it's a bad album.
Okay.
You see, Shola, thank you. And it's not.
I never said it's a bad.
It's not because we're namesakes.
That album. I've not listened to the new album, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that last album, the Yabase album, amazingly produced, well curated album.
Yes.
I think you guys should listen to it one more time to know how beautiful that album.
I tell you.
And I think I think what's important as well, what I really appreciate about the album was that it brought, in people who are not, exactly well celebrated when it comes to like the music industry. Like we
Yeah.
want to, hear music from the likes of MI, Simi, and all the big wigs. But then there are some, I don't want to call them up and coming artists. There are some emerging artists, that are really great at
Mm-hmm.
their work. And I feel like basketball giving some of these
A
people the
platform.
opportunity to be able to express, their art on that album
Yeah.
is an amazing thing to do. When you look at, the status of basketball when it comes to entertainment in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
when you look at entertainment industry generally, and not just, the comedy industry, entertainment generally, basketball would probably be one of the people that is most respected in our industry, basically. So the album is amazing, and for the Adekunle album as well, I think it's a beautiful album as well. I listened to the whole album, and I feel like the switch from Adekunle Gold to AG Baby has really worked well for him.
Mm-hmm.
He has amazing features on that particular album, and one that I really love, the one featuring
Fatumata.
Ty Dolla Sign.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one woman. One woman. That's the fourth
Yeah, it's my
the
dollar
Yeah.
fourth track on that album. One woman featuring title. I think that's a really beautiful song, and I really think that song is gonna blow up. I hope he
I like
makes
the one
like a really
with
beautiful.
the Senegalese singer too, Fatou Mata.
Exactly, exactly. So that's just my 2 cents on what you guys have been talking about. I know I was supposed to call earlier to talk about
Yeah, the
the
truckers thing.
blockade that's
The,
happening.
can we do that on
Yeah.
Monday if you don't mind?
Yes, please. Let's do that on Monday.
Yes, we do. We
All
need to
right.
find out what's going on in Canada and all of that. But you don't have to go. We're still talking new music.
New
Have you
music.
listened to any of the songs we're about to talk about? You could just stay online.
Which one?
Another
Yes.
one, Peruzzi. We've not heard of Peruzzi in a while.
And there are two
then
songs with Peruzzi today.
Peruzzi with Aceberg,
Yeah.
Ready. I think that is
Have you
an
heard that one?
amazing song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, there's something about Peruzzi is that Peruzzi is an amazing songwriter.
Yes.
He's not only good with
Singing.
the music
And his
thing.
vocals
He
are
he
really
writes a lot of songs. Exactly. So I'm not really surprised at the quality that he keeps dropping, and I think he's very underrated. When you
Yes,
talk about
I
like
agree.
the crop of artists that came into the scene about a year, 2 years ago. When you talk about the likes of Fireboy, Rema, Joe Boy, all the boys. Peruzzi has actually
That's dope, man.
Peruzzi has actually made an amazing mark for himself, in the music industry, especially with the fact that he's under DMW. You have a king, a music king in the mode of Davido,
Davido, yeah.
in the same label with you, and you are still able to shine in your
Shine
own
through.
space. I think that's really commendable for him.
So there's another
I'm
Peruzzi song
talking about
on
boys.
the basketball
Yeah,
album.
the basketball album,
Celoui.
Celoui.
Just listen to it. Just listen. Then you wanted to say talking about boys?
Yeah, I'm talking about the boys. Peru, Fireboy.
There's another remix.
There's
again.
another
Another
remix.
remix.
I'm sure. Have we all listened to that song? What do you think about it?
I'm yet to listen because
Oh.
I just downloaded it some minutes ago.
Okay, so what do you think about it?
It's different, and it's trying to capture the American market.
I like the fact that he's trying to capture the American market, but maybe I'm a little bit biased with the
Ed Sheeran.
One because I personally feel that I'm not a fan of remixes,
Mm,
but Ed Sheeran,
We know.
Ed Sheeran literally slotted himself into that song,
Yeah.
and it was beautiful. The issue I have
You
with
know,
this
you
song,
don't think
with this one, is that it sounded different. Like there's this thing that Ed Sheeran did that just really like.
Yeah.
You could say that song was an original.
Yeah.
You will not think about it twice if you've
the
never
original
listened.
is almost in trouble now.
You could almost say that song was how the song was, but this one there was a difference between his voice and his vocals,
It's a remix.
and then Blast, then comes to T1, 21 Savage. It was different. I don't think
Okay.
it did what the
I
one
don't,
with
I don't
Ed
know.
Sheeran did.
Bami hasn't heard it. Ashola heard that song.
Yes, I've heard that song.
What-
And
what do
let
you
me
think?
be clear. let me be clear. I also prefer, and it's all about bias as well. I also prefer the Ed Sheeran version.
All right.
But the truth is that they didn't make that song for you and I.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just true. They've made the version for you and I.
Yeah.
He made the original version for you and I.
Yeah.
He made the remix for you and I. He's trying to get into the American market, which is, he's conquered the UK market.
So
basically.
guess
and if you're able to conquer
the UK market, of course, the US is next. Guess who else dropped a remix after a remix was dropped last week? Ricardo Banks has a remix with Kiddy.
Okay.
Ozumba, by the way, has a third version now.
Okay, is he really going to? He's going to turn himself to. Remember what Joe Boy did with like seriously, like.
So there's a new Ricardo featuring Kiddy, the Ghanaian, amazing Ghanaian artist that he is, and I like his spin to it. I urge you to listen to it. But there's so much more. Again, talking about remixes again, Magix now from the Mavians. He now has his label mate on a remix of his song Love Don't Cost a Dime. And of course we're talking about Ira Star. Ira Star is a star. She's all that and a bag of chips, man.
She is. And another weird person that sang is Adesua.
Okay.
Told me, I don't know if you listen to her song.
I've not heard it. As
much as we've seen that 99% of Nigerian Nollywood actors, when they sing, is always
don't talk about Genevieve or Motola.
It's always terrible. But I think if you've not listened to it, you should.
I will.
I think she sings a bit before, so I think this is not bad at all.
All right.
She's actually
another person that's dropped a new song is Praise. Love You Better. I have listened to it. And he's started his media rounds and everything. I urge people to also go check that one out. There's a lot of songs.
Praise never has a problem with music and vocals. I think that it's just not. I don't know why it just never grew as big as
it should with its potential.
Yeah.
So there's more music that's dropped today?
Oh yeah, there is LAX and Ira Star.
Again, Ira.
Options.
I've listened to that.
It's not a bad song at all. Not a bad song. I personally think people should go and check out Basket Mouth's album. The entire album. Not all the songs on it is doing it for me, but I think it's an amazing song. Barry J also has Story.
Yeah.
Oxlade, remember the Oxlade?
Oxlade of the fame.
Oxlade of the Lord.
Oxlade of the Lord.
Oxlade of the lick your hand fame.
So Maradona has Oxlade
our
on
guy.
his song. And then there's Brother Shaggy and Fowls.
Yes.
That's my lane.
And there's Diverse featuring Buju.
I've not listened to that. I've not seen that. That's someone that I've not heard in a while. Buju
is dropping an album next month, so
yeah, I know that. So maybe
Buju is always there because all the big songs from last year had Buju on it.
Buju on it.
Just comes
and Mood is doing some good numbers now.
Wonder Banton also has No Wahala remix
with Kiss Daniel.
Oh wow, our time is already up.
We are out.
There's a lot of songs that came out. I urge everybody to go and listen. There's so many things. Too many things.
So this is what we say. Support your own. So stream their songs, download their songs, buy their songs, listen to their songs, leave comments, share, let people know, because this is how you can grow the industry and help your brother and your sister. And of course, it always trickles down.
Yep, and that's all we have
to stream Boom Radio too.
Yes.
Remember, we're streaming on YouTube. Go check us out, BoomradioNG.
And you can also
subscribe.
Catch this. It's going to it's not today anymore now. Yeah, it's still going to go
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Today is Friday. Oh, yeah.
7 p.m.
All right, so that's all we have
And at
today.
9 p.m.
At 9 p.m.
DJ Bami
is coming on all the way
till 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
It's the longest party on radio. Non-stop, no talking, no
DJ
nothing.
Bamba.
DJ Bamba. I like that. All right.
Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend, everybody.
Shola, thanks for tuning in, man, and checking in.
You want to talk to him?
Yeah. Mr. Adeogun.